Hey everybody, episode, what is this, episode 6? Is that where we are?
That sounds right, sure.
Of Homeland Season 3, still positive. I would slow clap it if I was careful. It was an episode about spying. And I love episodes about spying.
No, people doing awful things and drones and
credible drones.
Yes.
Like I got the feeling that, the CIA probably has access to some drones that they can move over. I mean, probably, of course
they
do.
can be over a golf course in Virginia or whatever.
Right. By the way, the United States of America, right?
Yeah.
There's no congressional authorization for this drone, by the way.
Cares.
They just get to spy on you.
Click.
So, really good stuff. A very dramatic, sudden turn in it. A violent turn.
Yes.
Incredibly violent turn.
Yeah, I think we have a new Abu Nazir.
We do, but it's an Abu Nazir that it's not lurking in the fields. It's an Abu Nazir who we're working with.
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy. And it's, just that whole idea of, okay, you got me, one more for the road.
Right, one more for the road, right.
Awful.
Because Saul, what's his name? What's the character's name? Javadi. So Saul knows that Javadi will, he thinks that Javadi's fuck you he'll show up an hour late. Right? But it turns out, no, his fuck you is that he's going to kill his ex-wife
and daughter-in-law.
And daughter-in-law, right. And
in front of his grandson.
So that was, and then they have to work with him. That's what I think.
And they had to cover the crime scene too.
They tried, they couldn't.
Yeah, as much as possible.
But their plan was to whitewash the crime scene. I mean, what happens when the husband gets home? Right, where is everybody?
Why is the baby crying?
Why is my baby in his playpen by himself? I thought it was a really good sort of dramatic device to have us have our heroes have to work with this hideous guy. He's still in it, there was a little bit of Jackie Kennedy there, like going about the day's business with the
viscera all over you.
Right, with the blood all over you.
Yeah, which, is I'm sure a daily occurrence for these guys. They have to, you're not, what's that line about bankers and ministers are rarely called forth as character witnesses in murder trials?
Yeah, right.
People who help out the CIA are not usually, the president of the Rotary Club.
But Alonso, I thought that they, what was good was that they seemed all, Carrie, Quinn, the other guy, the helper guy, who had the great line about, I'm sorry I'm late, the cab driver got lost. It's like, you took a cab? You took a taxi to a CIA safe house? No, I was kidding. That was a nice line. But and the woman, the Arab woman who's helping, they were all, they were bothered by the developments.
Yeah.
They were, yes, it may be a daily occurrence, but it was still...
That doesn't make them, they're soulless, yeah.
Right, it was chilling to all of them, and it was chilling to Saul, too, although he was past it in about 8 seconds with his sort of, they're sitting out, Quinn and Carrie are sitting out on the porch having coffee, and Saul's like, let's go to work. He's here, let's go.
I have punched him in the face, we can proceed.
So the burden that Saul is carrying is enormous.
Yeah, well, he knows he's not going to get the gig. They're gonna elevate Tracy Letts above him to run the place. We don't know whose side Duralde is on because we never know whose side Duralde is on.
Duralde leaves himself open to pick the winner at the last possible moment.
Probably so, yeah.
Although it did appear that at this early juncture, Duralde is on Tracy Letts' side.
Yes, definitely.
Because he knows this guy's coming in. Right. You can tell Saul's on the way out, so he's like, Saul, I've always hated that guy. That guy's an asshole. But you never know.
Yeah.
You never know with Duralde.
Yeah, he shifts with the wind. And the revelation this episode that Carrie's pregnant.
Right, that Carrie's pregnant.
She has a drawer full of sticks that smell like pee.
She has 86 pregnancy tests.
Yes.
So whose kid?
How long has Brody been gone at this point?
I think not that long.
So, I mean, if it's still within 2 or 3 months, it could be him.
It could be Brody, or it could be the Brody lookalike.
Yeah, exactly, liquor store guy.
Right, the liquor store guy. But it has to, presumably, it's only one of those two.
Right. Unless there's some other ginger she's got tucked away somewhere else. And it's a potentially interesting plot twist, but it's one that on this show kind of gives me pause because no good can come of it. You know?
Like you just be like, just get an abortion and let's go about our business.
Because the show is going to make you suffer for it anyway. If just being a pregnant woman in that line of field, and of course having to deal with whatever it's going to do to her hormones and her already fragile mental chemistry.
Her maternal instinct was there, but so minor. It was like, we got a kid here, just leave him. She's like, all right, well, I'll put him in his playpen.
That was a step.
It was a step. It was something.
She at least asked.
She asked, and she put him somewhere where he's safe.
Right. So I don't know where that's going to go. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out over the course of the season.
And I'm curious whether when they said somebody must have called it in, my hunch is that was Carrie.
Maybe.
Because she might have thought, there's a kid there in a bloody house.
Sure.
Somebody's got to come.
But also, a shot was fired. So, it's conceivable that a neighbor could have heard that.
Totally. It is possible.
A shot was fired at the open front door.
At an open front door, no question. It could have been that. But it did happen quickly.
Sure.
And they did have every intention of cleaning that up somehow.
Right. And then, of course, Dana has... for a second, I almost thought that when she got her mother to sign the papers to allow her to change her name, she had somehow gotten her mother to sign papers, what is it the kids get there?
Oh, the emancipation.
Right, yeah. Like she's gotten her to sign emancipation papers without telling her. So she's pressing on. I always feel bad for the brother in these situations. Yeah, it's like, you know what? I went through all this shit too. Could you not acknowledge me when you're leaving the house? Like
could you have told me at least?
Exactly. Yeah. Where's that conversation? Do I always have to be an afterthought in all this? Because he's enabling like mad. I'm sure he is just doing everything possible to try and keep the home life relatively normal and stable for the mom's sake. And Dana's just off.
Yeah. He's actually going to be super fucked up.
So yes.
Yeah. Because he seems like he's just great. And he wants to help his mom, and he wants everybody to be happy, and he wants everything. He wants everything back to normal, and he misses his dad. And of course, I guess at some point his dad has to come back. Otherwise, it's just couldn't be more irrelevant to see these scenes.
That, and why did we spend so much time with him already this season? Why did he get the entire episode?
That's what I mean. I don't just mean these scenes in episode 6. I mean straight through
all the Brody scenes.
Who cares about the Brodys? It's not. Its story seems so separate from them. That's why the point that my cousin made, who was here on last week's show, thinking that boyfriend was spy connected somehow, that it was a way for someone, whether terrorists or CIA people,
to keep a tabs on.
I hate to fall into that vernacular. Whether it was the bad guys or the good guys, I don't even know if that one's right. Whether that was a way to get to Dana, but it wasn't. It was just a.
I still think that nude selfie is going to come back to haunt her at some point in this episode, in this season.
No, it seemed. It already seemed like it would have. But I don't like the Dana after school special. I don't not care because I really like Morgan Saylor. We talk about it every week, and I think that the mother has given Morena, what's her last name, Bakkanen? Something like that.
I forgot.
But I like her too, and I think they've delivered solid performances this year. But it just seems
there have been some interesting Dana things this season. The big speech about why she attempted suicide and all that stuff, and how her mother doesn't understand things. That was great. All the stuff with the sex with the boyfriend in the laundry room. We enjoyed that.
Great scene. It was
the
a really
runaway
good
stuff
scene.
was kind of fun. But yeah, this whole I'm moving in with this character we've never seen before.
The runaway stuff was fun, but the runaway stuff, we talked about it last week, but you weren't here. So the runaway stuff was fun, but so unsatisfying in its resolution.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. You lied to me. See ya.
She walked away from it. Yeah, that's true.
What do we waste our time on this for? At what point is someone with the CIA or some terrorist organization going to connect to her? I don't know. It has to be. So
maybe at some point she'll be a hostage to manipulate Carrie because
I'm not sure.
The mom called Carrie when she was run away, so people know there's a connection there.
Maybe the girl who she's going to live with, right? Someone is.
Yes, maybe Mystery Girl has a whole thing that we don't know.
Someone is plotting to get there. I hope so, because otherwise it just doesn't matter. And I imagine that Dana's peril is the thing that must bring Brody back.
Yeah, maybe.
One would think.
Where the show is still losing me, I still haven't wrapped my head around the idea that everything that Carrie went through in the mental hospital was all arranged and planned and intentional. that's still not passing the sniff test for me. It still feels like, and I know you just accept it and move past because that's what the show wants us to accept. It just still to me seems like a real contrivance that we were shown this material in a way that even when she was by herself, she was in character or whatever. It's like Bad Grandpa, when nobody else is around in the mental hospital, she's still being crazy Carrie, and then we find out later that she and Saul had planned the whole thing.
Well,
I still
think
don't buy it.
What it was, and the only thing that makes sense, is that they planned it, but it went way farther than she thought it would go. They left her in much farther.
Right.
Her breakdown, as she was off her meds, was actually fairly real. That Saul knew that in the end, as always, no matter what state Carrie is in,
she would get it back together.
She gets it done, but that he really wanted to sell it big time, and that maybe there'll be a conversation between them where she says, "Yeah, I get it, but I didn't know that you were going to go on national television and tell everyone I was bipolar."
Exactly.
So that she's going to have a moment, and he's going to be like, "I just."
And so now, when Tracy Letts becomes the new director of the CIA, he's going to have to be informed of this, right? I mean, does Dora Dahl even know that this is?
No, I don't think so. This was clearly their it was their thing, because he had Dora Dahl do other things.
That's true.
Like secure that Carrie is there.
Right.
So he played Dora Dahl. So that's why, to me, it becomes slightly believable as long as Saul went much further than Carrie thought he was going to go.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. That is the most plausible thing I've heard in that
But to
regard,
your point,
so.
they need to tell us that then. That has to
Sure.
be a conversation where she says to Saul in a moment, "Dude,
This was only supposed to go to here."
right,
yeah.
you went way beyond that. That was not cool."
Right.
And they touched on it a little bit then with
Quinn.
no, the guy, the terrorist again, the Iranian.
Javadi.
That when Javadi was like, "Oh yeah, that's just like Saul, throwing other people into harm's way to get his job done," which of course is his job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so I liked that scene. I loved Carrie turning the interrogation around at the moment that she had to.
Right.
I loved how effective it was. I liked how bossy she was to him, although again it was the wrong ploy, because maybe if she'd been decent to him, maybe he just would have gone in.
Yeah, it's possible, and it's always weird for me to see a lie detector test scene without James Urbaniak, because he's been our guy for this whole series.
That's right. But I will say that like now it occurs to me that maybe Carrie bears responsibility for what what Javadi did as much or more than Saul, because maybe her disrespect had a little bit to do with his "all right, fuck you" moment too.
Maybe, but I think he probably would have done that anyway. I think that was always in the back of his mind. It's like, all right, well, I'm screwed. I'm taking somebody with me.
Right, and of course you have to remember that no matter what their behavior is, only somebody who is truly depraved would react that way to being talked to curtly.
That's true. Right. Yeah. Well,
Actually,
the next step would be to slaughter two people. What do we? The Mrs. Saul storyline? Do we care?
I think that I normally don't care. What I cared was that it gives us a sense of what Saul has sacrificed.
And it's all
he's
falling
lost
apart.
friends. These 4 people died in Iran. Now these other 2 deaths are on him. He's carried this enormous burden. He's lost his wife. The reasons why she wanted to go to India in the first place are understandable.
Right.
She fell for this guy. She's tired of what has to be, when he comes home from work, just a super downer.
Yeah, the scraps of his attention.
Right. And so I think it gives us a sense of everything Saul has given up to get him to this point from an organization that is now going to pin all of its failures on him.
That's true, yeah.
When he has behaved really heroically.
He's totally set up now to be the fall guy when new guy comes in, to be the old boss who ruined everything.
Right. He wants to get rid of Carrie, he wants to get rid of Saul, he wants to get rid of human intelligence, that's a little too simple, but that makes him incompetent that he wants to do that. But he's going to be presented with, really, you want to get rid of Saul and Carrie? They're the 2 people running the most important operation the CIA has had in years.
Well, and I mean, obviously, like Tracy Letts is being set up as the sort of hissable bureaucrat guy who doesn't really understand how things are done, and just wants to suck up to the president and blah blah blah. So he'll get his.
He'll get his, but in the meantime, the existence.
He's going to make it difficult for everybody, though.
But Javadi's presence will make it impossible for him to do what he wants, because you can't obviously let, as Javadi said, the greatest asset Saul has ever acquired.
True.
You can't let that go.
True.
I loved this episode. That was great. It was a real.
It brought me back in a big way from after
terrific,
a couple of dodgy ones.
Good work. I'm very pleased with it, and I'm anxious for next week. Alonso, thanks, man.
Thank you.